Well, we're just going to try and get a more sort of reptilian shape for this foot. I want this part here, this pad, to sort of come back a little bit, just so that it looks like it's something that gets put down onto the ground, perhaps forms a callus or a pad for the creature to walk on. And I will also probably be bringing in a sort of a dew claw or a claw coming out of the back of the ankle here. So I might just switch perspective back on just to be able to judge size a little bit better. And let's see, I'm thinking maybe 3 toes would be a good starting point. So I'll zoom in, bring my draw size down, and I'm just going to mask out 3 toe areas, making sure that I give myself enough room between them. Okay, so I'm just going to invert that mask, increase my draw size, just bring these toes out like so. Okay, and we're just making the geometry at the moment. So I'll bring back the rest of it, remesh, smooth. Then with a smaller draw size, just get this shape sort of worked out. I quite like that shape there, so I'm going to try and duplicate something like that on the other side. And that middle toe, just going to bring that out. Okay. Now we don't want to get too far ahead of that. So what I might do is actually bring that back a little bit. So I'll go under scale, control held, just going to mask out an area like that. And tap with the mask key a little bit. And we'll take it off perspective so that we can draw out a line. And I'll just draw the line off the object just so that it is coming directly from that point. And I will okay. I'll go with a slightly longer line then. See if that works any better. I can never get this really to work well. And sort of that middle circle. No, it's not really working that well. So I'll go back to draw and I'll try and do it manually with the move tool. It's better. Okay. So we're getting some sort of interesting shapes there. I'm sort of liking that bulge there, but it's not really sort of reptilian. So what I'll do is I'll switch to my standard brush. so that we can have more of a sort of continuation of the foot bones down into the toes. And take it out from between the toes like that. Okay. So I'll just get the tips of the toes out. Might switch to inflate for this one. Inflate these knuckles up a bit. Missed. Okay, back to move. And because this is going to be sort of like the stand-in for our big toe, I'm going to just make sure that this toe is bigger than this one. And make sure that doesn't disappear out too easily. Always remember to exaggerate when you're dynameshing, just enough so that you can compensate for the shrinkage. Although in the 4R5 version you don't have to compensate quite as much. It is actually quite good for keeping the shapes that you build into your mesh. Okay. So that done, I'm just going to come in and draw some claws out. So like that. And so you can see how it's quite easy to get that sort of claw shape. So you drag to the point and then you move the middle sort of area up a bit better into a bit of a nicer shape. And so that's one way to sort of get that claw shape. And there with that. So now we can see that that's a lot more sort of reptilian there. What I'll do is move this back a bit. Move this calf up and out. And then come in and introduce more of a dew claw here. What I might use is the snake hook tool. See if that does what I want it to. The snake hook's good for getting sort of just moving that geometry into the place that you want it to be, just to sort of start off with. And we don't want this to look too sort of smooth or too simplified. Seem to be having some sort of delays with my control key for masking. Not really loving it. I'll just pull out and see if I can put it into a better position. It's sort of more of a dramatic change. That's looking a little bit better. Even then, looks a bit strange. You know, strange can be good. Okay, we'll go with that for the time being. If I really don't like it later on, I can take it out. And I do just want to make sure that this pad does come back enough. Because you've got to remember this is animated as though it has boots. So we don't want to make it too obvious that this is a very different sort of formation. Let's see if we can bring that whole foot back. Okay. Alright. So this is the sort of character we're starting with, and we're going to take a similar sort of treatment that we gave to these feet, to the hands, make them more sort of claw-like, and I still need to sort of fix that face up and come up with something a little bit more dramatic. I'll just have a look. Maybe I could bring that down. That's an improvement right there. Don't want the eyes too close together. While I'm here, I might bring this jawline out a little bit. And it might be good if we have a bit more of a sort of a spike or a horn coming out of the cheekbone here. That might help to sort of settle it and make it look more like a cohesive creature, like the face is part of the rest of the head. And of course we'll also have slight sort of horn ridges coming up from there. So we'll continue this character in the next lesson.